Good morning, welcome to the technical breakdown from Crypto Collective. It's Wednesday the 12th of May and my name's Mark. Taking a look at Bitcoin dominance, it's still continuing to decline, sitting at just under 44% now. So basically what that means, if you're new to Bitcoin dominance, it just means that the rest of the alt market, Ethereum and all the other altcoins, now basically hold 56% of the entirety market cap of cryptocurrency. So the dominance to Bitcoin has been declining from, if you look back here, December 2020, the value of Bitcoin, all Bitcoins added together, was 73% of the entire crypto market, and it's now sitting at around just under 44%. So we know that we're in the realms of a potential low in Bitcoin dominance, which I'd be expecting to see Bitcoin dominance maybe come down to 39, even number 39, maybe 40, before we start to see maybe the outflow of altcoins back into a bit of Bitcoin as a hedge maybe. But that's what we'll be looking for. So expect to see the altcoins continue to surge a little bit like it did back here. You can see that the Bitcoin declined in relation to the altcoin and Bitcoin ratio. So we're expecting altcoins to outperform Bitcoin, and at least until we get into these territories down here around 40, potentially 36. Let's take a look at Bitcoin. It tested the key level we were talking about, but it failed to break through here at 59,000. You can see multiple rejections here, but we have got this sort of sideways channel forming. We're looking now for basically a market direction. Are we going to push on and break out and head up towards that 64,000 all-time high, or are we going to break out and head back down towards structure support around 48, 49,000? Honestly, preference would be another push up. So effectively this move here coming out of structure lows, and you see that measured move takes us back to all-time highs. So that's all we're doing, is we're looking at the break of this sort of channel that's been formed, the measured move of the market going into there, and then where does that finish? Believe it or not, at the all-time highs. So that's the kind of move that I'll be looking for on Bitcoin. Now when we refer back to looking at Ethereum, well, look, there's nothing you can do on the daily or the weekly chart. The only thing you can do with Ethereum, if you are wanting to day trade, is look at the smaller time frames. And top right, we've got the 4-hour chart, and you can see any sort of correction is being bought up. So anytime you see the market rotate lower on the 4-hour chart, you get that correction. Start looking at, if you use the hourly, you can see, right, where does the first higher low come in after each correction? So let's look at this. Where does the first higher low come in? Well, the market drops, it rallies, puts the higher low, comes in. So now we've had our first higher high after the correction, and this is the area we want to start looking for that next impulsive move. We're looking for that first confirmed higher low after a higher high. If you want to drop down and look at it in a little bit more detail, then we can look at the 15-minute chart. You get a perfect inverted head and shoulders here. There's your neckline. The market breaks out, comes back to test the weekly pivot, as you can see down here, and then boom, off we go. So using multiple time frame correlation to help you perfect your entry will be absolutely paramount when trading something like Ethereum, where there is no correction on the higher time frames and you're just wanting to trade it daily. So that's what I'd be looking for. Let's have a look at some of the other markets that have been talked about. Okay, cake. This is one that I've had quite a few messages about. What to look for, and how can we look at trading it? Well, if we look at the daily chart, simple thing is we've formed a base around $35 and we're now in this correction phase. So what does that look like, and how can we use multiple time frame analysis to potentially benefit? Well, if we look here, we can see the correction is providing lower highs and lower lows. We had an attempt to break the highs, but we came down. We failed to break the lows this time, and we're still sitting within this range. So things to look out for. I think really we want to start looking at this kind of channel that's being formed, and for the aggressive traders, you could look at putting buy limits in and around the $34. Whenever we remain above this area, we're obviously going to remain bullish. But really, it's if we get a breakout of that descending trend line here, we're trading with momentum up around $40 again, we should then see at least that 10% increase into all-time highs around 44, and let that market continue its bull run through the end of this third quarter of 2021. Ripple has had an interesting period in recent weeks. You know, we had the big surge up to $2, then it dropped back down to $1. We had a little pushback up to 1.6, and then we've just been consolidating. So really we need a little bit of a direction. It's a little bit like Bitcoin really in terms of how it's moved with that correction. The push up not quite equaling the high formed in April, and then consolidation phase. So we need to see a little bit of trend direction, and once we have that confirmed, then we can start looking at further moves to the upside. By looking at the 4-hour chart, I'm just going to move this descending trend line here, and that'll be a simple way of looking at a momentum purchase. So as soon as we break through this descending trend line, we could see some momentum pushing that higher and looking for more upside. I know one of the coins that's been talked a lot about because it was crazy moves recently is Shiba, but I'm not going to look at that from a technical perspective. Not enough data. That really will just be a fundamental play. BNB, where are you? BNB is another market that we're obviously very, very keen on, technically, fundamentally, but it does have to break 600. Let's zoom into the daily chart so you can see. This is a position we're holding, and we did send out a little signal last week from 635, which hit first targets around 680, but now we're just waiting for confirmation. So we reduced our exposure on first targets, but now you can see that 680 is definitely a line in the sand. A momentum break above this high here, 692, should see continued movement to the upside. And if that is the case, and we get that push through, then we can start using this area as an area to add in and scale our position for long-term movement to the upside. I think that's it from the charts today. You know, guys, we do appreciate it when you do mail in or comment below. If there are any charts you would like us to take a look at, please put that in the comment section below. If you have enjoyed the information that we've put out for you today, please make sure you hit like, share and subscribe. And last but not least, please remember, we are not financial advisors. All we are is a team of crypto enthusiasts that are looking at every crypto market that can potentially bring us some high returns from speculative investments. Now, we want to give you that so you can have a look at it and make your own educated assessment from the fundamentals that we provide in documents and also from our technical perspective here on YouTube. Look forward to seeing you in our latest video. Take care. Bye bye.